Hello and namaste and welcome to HAB CHAT. With HAB CHAT, we are intending to talk to people from various fields and share their inspirational experience with everyone to see. As our first episode might say, we're going to be talking to a very beautiful but a very talented individual who is the finalist for Miss England 2019. Jasama Laksa Miss England 2019 ma चाहिँ नेपाली participantले चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म भाग लिएको छैन, maybe भाग लिएको छ होला, which we don't know, but हामीलाई जहाँसम्म लाग्छ she might be the first one to take part from the Nepali community. So we as a community are so proud of all her achievements. So we're catching up with Pratishtha Raut on HAB CHAT to find out all about her journey for Miss England 2019. Pratishtha, welcome to HAB CHAT.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
By the way, you look stunning, and I love that you've accessorized your outfit with the Nepali little bangle thing.
I got it from Nepal. I love these.
Hey,
I actually saw it in my baby cousin, and you know they have it on their ankles.
Oh yes,
I was like, I want one.
Oh yeah. Maile, I've actually seen you around a lot in terms of Nepali events at Mani, Facebook. You used to do modeling as well before, and then I think I've never really had the chance to sit down and probably talk to you.
No, we haven't.
No, we've never really interacted this way, but I've known of you, yeah. And then I recently, say your recent few months, I've seen you pop around everywhere, like Instagram.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, that's fine. Like, I don't mean it in a Narambra way. It's positive to see Nepali people doing so well in different fields, and I'm so proud of you. Like I said, as a community, I think we're all proud of what you're doing, representing the Nepali community in such a big platform as Miss England 2019. But you're actually professionally, say you're an architect. So how did this come about? 26-year-old ma चाहिँ कसरी चाहिँ म चाहिँ अब एउटा ब्युटी प्याजेन्टमा चाहिँ भाग लिन जान्छु भनेर चाहिँ कसरी सोच आयो?
Like you said, I've modeled from since I was 16. So, you know, that's always been I like being in front of cameras. Not like videos like right now, but you know, still photos, photography and stuff. I was always interested, but my passion was always architecture, buildings, designing, and so I didn't want to let go of that. I wanted to have a career which was strong for me to fall back on if anything goes wrong in this side of the career. So, and then once I finished my career, I had a job, and everyone was like, "You're still at the age." So I actually applied for Miss Nepal, but age got boy, and I didn't know they had such short restrictions on who can apply and who can't apply. So boy, so and then someone suggested from Nepal actually, you live in England, can you Miss Nepal on khojeko? Miss England me jao na. So I was like, okay, worth a shot. So that's when I applied, and then I got in.
They always say, "Euta doka close by when there are many other ways." Or many other opportunities that will open, and I guess that was it for you. So your Miss England journey, how are you finding the whole experience? Like you said, arguably you've just come back from shooting Miss Beautiful Hair, and you've curled your hair. Well done on curling your hair for the first time. How is that all going for you, preparing everything and doing your makeup or looking more glamorous than ever before?
I've always liked looking nice, but I never put that extra effort like I do now, like curling my hair for it, let's say, or doing my full makeup, say. So applying to Miss England, there was around 22,000 applicants, so we had to go to quarterfinals, then semi-finals, and then that's when we received the finalist pack, and that's when I realized there's a lot of things I need to do myself, because Miss England is all about independence, doing everything yourself. So that you don't have to rely on anyone if there is anything. So let's say to do your hair, to do your makeup, you can do it yourself, you know. So that's why they have all these rounds called Miss Beautiful Hair, Miss Talent. You have to take the video yourself, edit it, send it, you know, and doing your own hair, doing your own makeup. There is even a TV presenter round this year, which is new. I have mine on Tuesday.
Oh, good luck for that.
So that is, you know, to test what you're like in front of cameras, you know. because not everyone's confident in front of cameras. So this is like a little taster to see who's the most confident, you know, because you need a confident contender for Miss England.
And I have to praise you on the fact that you came barefaced in front of a camera as well for the Miss Bareface round, because that is quite a brave thing to do, especially early where everyone wants to look like Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, follow contouring, still makeup, to actually come in front of a camera for a whole world to see your bare skin. That's a brave thing to do, and I salute you for that.
Thank you.
How was that, or are you just very comfortable in your own skin?
No, I'm not actually. I'm actually not. So casting. So this year, that is something new as well, Miss Bareface. So what the Miss England team realized, a lot of the contestants, like you said, Kim Kardashian just so a lot of them like Botox, lip injection, a lot of them have been under the knife. And so to reduce that, to show that natural beauty is what it counts, you know, when Miss England isn't looking for someone that's just beautiful on the outside. They're looking at everything, and they should be comfortable in their own skin. So they brought this round up, and I was really scared because जब म स्कुल गएँ म मात्र एउटा नेपाली थिएँ मेरो स्कुलमा एश म्यानरमा त्यतिखेर. So you know I was the only brown tone, and you know like I had my dark circles, and people would ask me, oh Birami hosa, like are you okay, why is your eyes so dark, you should sleep, you should that. So I started getting paranoid bistare, and just not seeing a lot of people have dark circles made me realize, why do I have these, you know, maybe I'm not sleeping well. And then I actually went to the doctors as well for it, and I was like, oh, I have really bad dark circles, like what can I do, you know. And turns out it's hereditary, it was passed down, so I can't do anything about it. So since then, since I was 14, 15, I've always worn concealer. I've never been out the house. My mom always shouted at me saying, but it just, you know, all those years of build up of, oh my god, like people will think I'm ill, or they actually approach me and ask me, are you okay, you know, and it's not a nice feeling. So that's why I've always worn concealer. And then I think that was the first ever time I put myself out there without concealer.
Have you come in terms with it now, or does it still bother you?
It does bother me, but I think having that platform where, you know, because it was covered in the Sun, the Daily Mail, so now that knowing that everyone's seen it, kind of, it is a little bit easier. I do want to transit because I hate wearing makeup. I feel like we waste so much time wearing makeup. So I wish I didn't have to wake up in the morning and then do that extra, whether I can use that time in something else. So I think I will transit slowly to not wearing anything.
That would be a great message for all the young girls young girls and boys who love wearing makeup and follow all this social media expectation of what a beautiful face is like.
Exactly.
And we're not saying Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner राम्रो छैन भन्न खोजेको पनि हैन. They are of course beautiful in their own rights, but we're also saying be comfortable in your skin.
Exactly.
And I think that
you have to be able to balance it, you know, like we're not saying don't wear makeup completely, you know, because makeup makes it look pretty. But you know, you should use makeup to enhance your natural beauty, you know. Some people have long eyelashes, you know, they enhance that with makeup. But don't go to that extent that people can't recognize you. You know, you're a completely two different person, because you're losing yourself in this whole makeup world. And the thing about makeup trend is that you're never going to be happy. There's always going to be new trend coming in. Because I remember at one point, big lips was a no-no. No, it was a no-no. Yeah. Remember, way back in the days, like big lips wasn't nice. And now, big lips is everything.
Yeah.
And then people are getting Botox done, and it's actually lip fillers, everything.
We didn't know what contouring was.
Oh my god, I forgot about contouring. Yes, I did contouring today. Like I didn't know what all those things were before, you know. And now like it keeps changing.
It's hard to keep up.
Exactly. And then highlight as well. Now the whole highlight thing.
Yeah. कहिले आयो कसरी हाम्रो लाइफको पार्ट भयो पनि I really don't know. I was watching your introduction video as well, and there you have spoken about growing up as an army child, and I myself am an army child, so I could relate to so many things you've spoken about in the video in terms of moving about, changing schools, not relating to a certain country in terms of our heritage or our identity. How was it like growing up as an army child, moving about, changing schools? And when we were speaking off camera, you said you've not been in one school for more than 2 years.
No, I haven't. So I actually did back and forth from Nepal and here a lot. I moved schools. So nursery I did in Nepal, and then I came here. I was in Colchester. I studied there for 2.5 years, I think. And then went back to Nepal. I didn't know how to speak Nepali at that time. So my parents, you know, communicating with the grandparents is very important, and I wasn't able to do that. So mom and daddy was like, you know what, Nepal ma gara, Nepali sika, you can communicate. So me and my brother had tuition. Nepal ma to belka tuition huncha ni. So we had that. We had like every day 1 hour tuition of Nepali, and then we both learned how to read and write Nepali. And then so stayed there for I think nearly 3 years, but I changed 3 schools during that time, because so one was temporary. We didn't think we were going to stay there for 3 years, and then when we decided we were going to stay there for a few years and actually learn Nepali, we moved to a permanent school. And then after that, Dad decided, you guys have to come back because I want my brother to give GCSE here because you have a lot more relevant here. So we got out of that school, and then my brother started crying. He was like, no, I want to finish it here. So we ended up going back, waiting another 6 months. So I went to a different school for 6 months temporarily, and then came back here to Ashmana, and then studied here for 2.5 years, and then college, and then, yeah. So
Did
it was
that
never...
affect you in terms of making friends or keeping in touch with friends or socializing or forming a sense of belonging?
It did, but at some point I'm actually, you know, there's always pros and cons about everything, right? So the cons I would say is not having a childhood friend, you know, not having someone that you lived, you know, sharing your whole life. You can never relate because they had a different childhood. Because not only I changed school, but I changed countries. So that's completely different, you know. For example, music taste. I know it's something small, but when you come to it, it becomes a huge thing. I know, because some people listen to music that you probably won't like because you're not been listening to it. I know. Or Nepali git sunsa, yeah, English, and you're like, no, malai tyo man parcha. Do you know what I mean? And you can't relate to them. You can't have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Ani, so this to it was a bit hard, but at the same time, it made me more confident. Like, I don't mind approaching people anymore because I always made that extra effort to make friends. I used to just go and talk to people because I had to, otherwise I will have no friends. Every 2 years I change where I to school, so they're already, you know, in your school groups, you have those groups, automatically groups, so you don't know where you belong because you haven't been there the whole time.
True.
So because of that, you approach all groups. So I think that's one of the reasons I have different types of friend groups. So I have who's very boyish and so very girlish, like they're completely different from each other, but it's because of my background.
I think I have that as well. Like the person I want to hang out with is Stokarne Belama, and then
yeah, exactly.
if I want to do serious stuff,
exactly,
that's the person I approach.
Yeah.
But also in your video, you've spoken about identity crisis that you've gone through. You know, when did you start feeling like, am I Nepalese or am I British? Because I'm living in England, I'm growing up in a British community.
Sanidahin actually, because obviously, actually not that Sanidahin. You know, when I said I was in Colchester and then we went back to Nepal to learn, I think Tiadahin Surubako, because I was the foreigner. Nepali boyni, I was known as the foreigner. Me and my brother, we just, you know, everyone would look at us as if we're not from from Earth actually, not even different country. They would look at us like we're aliens, you know, and they'd be like foreigner. And then I think at times because we were transiting. One of the teachers, I forgot my book at home, and I didn't know you're allowed to, you know, punish kids in Nepal, I know. And he let me off because I didn't know, I know. And I could hear people in the background going, that's so unfair, and I was like, oh no, you know, and I didn't feel like I belonged there. And then, you know, I started like adjusting myself there, and then I became the foreigner again, because I was the only Nepali. So everyone was just looking at me like, oh, do you know what I mean? So I was always like this foreigner in everywhere I go. It's not a nice feeling. And I always get told, where are you from? And I go, wherever I'm living at that time, you know. When I was in Nepal, I would say I'm from Bukharia or something like that, you know. And then when I was here, I would say Aldershot. But then people go, no, where are you from? And it's like, you have to be more specific. Because I lived in England for more than 20 years, I know. So this is my hometown. This is all I know, I know. I do know Nepal from my experience, from when I went there. But I don't know it as much as I know here. So when they go, where are you from? I say, what do you mean? Because I was born in Hong Kong, because of dad was in the army. I was born in Hong Kong, parents are from Nepal, grew up here. So where do I say, where am I from?
I'm from the earth.
Exactly. So I can't pinpoint myself on the map, and people expect you to pinpoint yourself on the map, and it's not right.
True.
Yeah. So I think that has a huge toll. People don't realize that. They're like, oh, just brush it off. But it's not that hard. It's
so growing up, did you ever express this to your parents? Did you ever talk about this with anyone?
No.
So you just went through it yourself. Yeah. How did you overcome the feeling?
I still haven't, to be fair. I still haven't. So right now, because I'm going for Miss England, you know, I have to say, not have to say, but I am from here. You know, this is my hometown. So I'm representing England, and I'm getting a lot of people coming to me and telling me, you're Nepali, but you're representing England. You know, and then, you know, and I am getting somewhere going, oh, Nepali. Like from here, people who are actually from here going and saying, oh, Nepali, like Miss England, Mavo, that won't be right if she wins, type of thing. So it's
people are saying that.
Yeah. So a lot of people, it's a myth. A lot of people say, oh, you don't have blonde hair, you don't have blue eyes. How can you be from England? How can you represent Miss England? So I'm like, even in this pageant, I'm like, where do I belong? I know. I want to represent England, you know, but I still want to carry the fact that my blood is from Nepal, I know. But people aren't letting me do that. They're like, you're not Nepali. And I'm like, oh, what am I? So it does get me down, but I think my parents have been really supportive of and just ignore them. Do your thing. You know, focus on what's more important to you. And because there's always going to be someone. There's always going to be someone, regardless of you do good or bad. There's always going to be someone that's not going to like it. That's always going to try to bring you down.
True. So there's still negative comments around it is in a way normal to affect our mental health in a certain level. Maybe some people will be more stronger about it. Some people wouldn't know how to handle it. How do you handle that?
I think mental health is something that everyone's been through at least once in their lifetime. They just don't know. Especially in our Nepalese community, we don't educate everyone about mental health. Like Nepal or school mounts, as much as here. Yeah, you have therapies, you have counsel, like school mounts, just in case if you're really upset, they send you to the counsel to have a little talk. Then if you're upset, you have to get over it. I know. So, and not everyone handles the same situation the same way. So when my nan passed away, that's when my mental health was a bit bad as well. So I handled it differently, but my brother handled it differently, you know. That really got me, but it didn't get my brother as much. It got him, obviously, grandparents, you know, but it didn't get him as much as me. But when something went wrong in his life, it affected him a lot more than it affected me. He's my brother, so I was like, you know, it affected me as well. That thing you feel for your family, but it affected him more. And that's what people don't realize. People just say, oh, just, you know, forget about it, and just move on from it. It's not easy as just moving on. There's no such thing as moving on. It's always going to be in the back of your head, you know, and people don't understand. And when, not just girls, but even when men cry, I hate this whole stigma of men can't cry. Don't be such a baby. Or I hate the term, don't be such a girl. It's like, you're literally putting it on us that girls cry at anything and everything. I know, and that's not right, and that affects mental health.
True. I personally believe it takes a lot of strength to cry, actually, and it's not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of strength, because कसैको अगाडि रुनु भनेको पनि एकदमै ठुलो strength लाग्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ हैन. In your video, your introduction video, you've also talked spoken about the importance of mental health awareness. Ani हाम्रो Nepali society ma, as you've just touched, the mental health awareness alikati low नै छ अब British community ma पनि recent years ma matra अझै mental health को बारेमा normalize गरेको अनि त्यो कुराहरु निक्लेको छ हैन. How do you think as an individual yourself or an individual myself or as a community, how do you think we can approach this subject and normalize it?
Talk about it. Not gonna lie, the more we talk about it, the more like I'll give example of oily Nepali ko pride thing, everything is coming in the light, right? Like it's becoming more normal, you know. It wasn't always normal. No. But people kept talking about it, people kept coming out, people kept talking, and now it's a lot more normal to a point that they had their first festival, didn't they, this year? Yeah, so do you see what I mean? The more you talk about it, the more normalized it becomes. So I think what we need to do is talk about it more, you know? But to talk about it, we need strong people to talk about it. Because we're not on that stage that it's normal, that we have to, in Sydney, we have to have people who don't mind other people bringing them down, if that makes sense. But I think we just need to have more awareness, especially in school.
So when you go through your times of lows or when you doubt yourself, what do you actually tell yourself to pick yourself up again?
I'm not gonna lie, but one moment comes to mind. So we were having a house party and I was really upset about something. I don't know, but you know, like when you build everything up in your head and stuff like that. And I think so. This was when I was at uni. So I had made a model and I broke it. And you know, that's my 2-3 months of work, you know. And I could remake it, you know. It was just like gluing a little bit. But I started crying my eyes out, you know, because everything just fell apart. But then knowing I had a house party, like Nepali party in Sydney, they start talking about it. So I literally just looked at myself in the mirror going, they're going to ask you, stop it. So I literally just wiped my tears. I was like, you're fine. And then patted on some makeup and then went downstairs, like, acted like nothing happened. You know, and that's not nice. You should be able to share how you're feeling.
So that's denying your
feelings. Denying your feelings. And it's not good for your mental health. It is going to be bottled up. And you're going to feel lonely because you're not being able to share it. Because I'm not going to say who, but someone did tell me that in Sydney, on the same day, I was like, you know, when you want to cry, your lips just like shake a little. And so I was just like, shake my radio. And then they came sat next to me. They're like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, no, it says the words. I was like, and the thing that they said really got me down. They were like, oh, yeah, kati dere maje sa naro hai, mati zo kothama zo. That's not nice, you know. And I'm like, okay. And then people see it as attention seeking, but the more you hide it, the more the mental health is going to go down. You know?
So did you finally manage to seek some help from the outside or your university?
So there was a point where my mental health was really bad. So which was at uni, so I had a lot of pressure from uni. At the same time, my hajuma passed away, like I said, and other stuff, you know, as usual, like what you're going to do after university, you're going to apply for jobs, are you going to move back with your parents, are you going to get, you know, there's so much things, you know, and what do you want to do with your life? So everything just came to my mind, and then I just locked myself in my room for 22 days.
Wow.
I haven't actually told anyone yet. My parents know, everyone knows. So I didn't go out of my house. I didn't do anything. I didn't eat. So I went from being 50 kilograms to 42 in 2 weeks. Right. So I was super skinny. I went super skinny. I lost all nutrition. I couldn't even get up myself from the bed. And, you know, like, because I couldn't get to see my nan. When she passed away, she just passed away. You know? Sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
So it was very, very hard at that time. But having a brother that's a doctor really helped, because I think it's the fact that I was a little bit strong. It helped because I then approached my brother saying, brother, I'm not feeling well. I think I know that I'm not feeling well. Because I had a submission, so I had to come out of my room. So I went to uni, and then because it was like finals area, there was a lot of mental health posters everywhere. If you can't cope, come this or that. And I was like, you know what, I might go check it out. I checked it out, and when you can relate, everything they were saying I was relating to: not eating well, not sleeping well, not wanting to interact with anyone, not wanting to speak to anyone, just everything just related so much. And I was like, does this mean I have mental health issues? I was in denial, because I have seen Nepali when someone has mental health issues, like depression especially, they just automatically say, oh, is that the depression rather than being supportive. The more supportive you are, the more they're going to come out of that depression. But the more you're going to talk about it, she's going to be more depressed. So because of that, I was in such denial. Okay? I was like, no, I don't have mental health. I don't have it. But I might have it not as extreme, but I still had it. And my brother made me accept that, because I spoke to my brother and I told him what happened. I went to this, and I think I relate on it. And that's when my brother was like, I'm going to come by. I'm going to have a little chat. And then we had a little chat, and then I had a lot of people asking me, oh, kibo you. And I just said, oh, my nan passed away, so I don't feel great. I still wasn't able to talk about my mental health openly. I would talk to westernized people, but I wouldn't talk to Nepali people about my mental health.
Is it because you felt you were going to be judged?
Exactly. Not just judged, but talked behind my back that I'm weak, You can't tell someone they're weak. Because you don't know what they're going through. So it was hard. But I got through it, thank God.
And you're able to speak about it now.
Exactly. Now I'm okay about it, talking about it. I think it helped having such a supportive parents as well. My mom kind of didn't understand at the beginning, but having a doctor brother helped, because he was able to explain it in a professional term, rather than emotionally term, which is what my mom is made of, emotions. So my brother explained it, and then now my mom and dad are literally my pillar.
Now I just want to go back to your journey with Miss England 2019. Obviously, you are learning a lot of things, doing a lot of things. What has been the most fun part of taking part in Miss England 2019 so far for you, your whole experience?
I think because, like I said, I have a background of designing. I like doing everything myself. So having to, edit videos, plan ahead. Because at uni, what we had to do is we had to make, what we're going to do, plan of action, right? So obviously we have Miss Beautiful Hair round, we have Miss Talent round, and so I have to showcase my talent. So having to showcase my talent, I have to think outside the box, because it's a hard competition. You don't want to just stand in front of a camera and show your talent. You want to be creative about it. So I think this has been really fun, to think about how I can be so different. And then we have a Miss Eco round where we had to make our own dress, and I did something very, very different. In Miss England history, which is a transforming dress.
Oh yeah, I saw that
so
video.
It was I had a plastic bubble wrap, but when I opened, came out a dress, like a long dress.
I saw that, and if you've not seen that, you can definitely see that on YouTube. Wako YouTube round lasa. We're in conversation with Pratishtha Raut, who is Miss England 2019 finalist, and we're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Have Chat. We're in conversation with the beautiful and the gorgeous and the talented Pratishtha Raut, who is Miss England 2019 finalist. So just before going on the break, we were talking about your journey for Miss England 2019 and all the different experiences. And one of the main part of Miss England is beauty with a purpose. Exactly. And all the charity work that you have to do alongside with it. So how is that going? Were you involved in charity work? Or more involvement भएको छ कि कस्तो छ?
अहिले more involvement भएको छ. पहिला म आफै charity थिएँ, I think.
What do you mean?
I was struggling with my mental health because some people don't understand is if you're not well, if you're not stable, how are you going to help someone else? I know. So I wasn't in that stage where I could help anyone. I needed help myself. I know. So now I'm in a stage where I can finally help people. I'm financially stable, I'm mentally stable, I'm physically stable. I know. Everything plays a part. And I wanted to do so many charities, but if I do too much and then my health deteriorates, then this ko faide bhaina ni. You don't want to just do alikati charity and just forget about it. I know you want to be consistent about it. So now that I've joined this, I've started my journey of helping others, and I don't want to take a break from it. But if I had done it, I would have had to take a break from it. And that's what I didn't want to do. So I'm doing a lot of charity work.
And I think by talking about all the problems that you've had with mental health and all your experiences, I think that's helping a lot of people as well who can relate to that. And people who are maybe finding it difficult to come out and speak about it. So, if they're watching at the moment, what would your advice be to them?
Speak about it. Talk about it. It doesn't have to be that you have to seek help. Just, I'm sure, I hope, you have at least one person you can trust and talk about your feelings to. Just tell them. It might be hard at the beginning, you might cry, because talking about your feelings is very hard than people think. But I think you should just come out of your shell, talk about it. You will be happy that you did. Because when I spoke about it, I literally felt like I just took my backpack off. So I think the first initial step is talk about it with someone very close. You don't have to say the full detail, just say I'm struggling. And don't feel like a burden. A lot of the times I myself felt like a burden, having to talk about myself to my brother. I would call up my brother and then I'll tell him, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. And then afterwards I'd go, am I a burden to you? And then he would shout at me. But you should never feel like you're a burden to anyone else because they're in your life for a reason. They're not only there for the good times, they're here for both.
We've also spoken about all the interesting things that you're getting up to and all the new experiences you're learning through Miss England 2019. But I also want to touch on, I think Miss England 2019 ko participant bhayo भन्ने बित्तिकै, especially in the Nepali community, overnight एउटा spotlight तपाईले पाउनु भयो हैन. So with that also comes positive comments and कुनै negative हुन सक्छ है. How are you dealing with this?
I don't think so. I'm dealing it right because I'm letting it get to me. I read the comments and I'm like, oh, they said that, and I play it in my head, and which is not good. And I think I need to speak to someone who's already in the spotlight. For example, you. I'm sure you've been through it yourself as well. How do you cope with it?
So I was speaking to Lex Limbu just before you as well, and we were talking about the same thing. He said, block all the negative comments from yourself, right? And it's quite hard, Suruma. So personally, मैले पनि सुरुमा Nepali community ma ke kamहरु गर्ने बेलामा I would love to read all the comments, and there would be one comment, two comments नराम्रो भन्ने, and I would let that get to me more than the positive comments.
Exactly.
So you have to balance it. But positive comments there is, so maybe I am doing something right, but don't let it get to you like unsani आफूलाई affect गर्ने. Just focus on what your ambition is, focus on what you're trying to do, and as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, म right path मा छु, म राम्रो काम गरिरहेको छु, then मान्छे भन्नेले भनिराख्छ, and you just have to carry on doing what you have to do. I think that's the advice I would give to you. कहिले कहिले say you just have to block out all the negative comments. That's what I would say to you. I hope that helps.
It's harder than you think.
It is.
Because I've never been in a position where I've had so much like you just said, positive a lot stuff, but you don't look at the positive, you only look at the negatives. I'm getting a lot of positives, but I'm ignoring that. I'm just looking at the negative. So I'm like, I've never had this much negative.
You have to focus on all the positive aspects, the negative that is what they intend to do to you. They want to affect you, they want to affect you in a negative way. So you're letting them win. I think more of 18, 19 it kind of affected me a lot. And this I had to really self-evaluate everything. Is that really true? Is that who I am? The negative comments, then I had to tell myself, no, that is not me. That is not who I am. That is not a true reflection of who I am. So that's what I need to focus on. So that's how I would assure myself. So hopefully you can find that in yourself as well.
Because you started Miss UK in about 16 ma.
2010 ma when the first...
when you were 16.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so 18. So 2 years.
Yeah. So... Miss UK Nepal I used to do radio BFBS ma. So people would criticize me for my Nepali.
Your Nepali is so good.
I think it's gone improved over the years, but still she would, let's say, maybe I struggle to express myself in just one language because I've grown up with 2 languages. So kati like bhaneko or kati natak parera boleko Nepali bolna pani aउँदैन राम्ररी or Nepali accent China त्यस्तो comments आउँथ्यो.
I don't think people realize that being fluent in 2 languages is a lot harder.
It is.
Anything.
It is.
On top of that, we have Hindi as well.
Yeah.
Because like यहाँको गोराहरु English मात्र आउँछ. Majority of them. Okay? I mean the duita language juggle गरिरहेछ नि त. So when people make those comments, they don't think हुन्छ नि उनीहरुलाई गाह्रै भएको होला किनकि we, to be honest, हाम्रो every day-to-day life with हामी English बोल्नै पर्छ. Compulsory. हैन? I would like to see those people on an every day-to-day basis speak English
and then go back
and speak Nepali.
Yeah, or
I'm pretty sure they can't do that either.
Exactly.
We can't just switch on and off of our habit.
And sometimes I'm struggling to just express myself in either Nepali or even in English. So I have to use both languages because I wouldn't say I'm perfect in English and I wouldn't say I'm perfect in Nepali either. So I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
So they would say, still trying to find the balance. But going back to how to deal with negative comments, block them out. Because your family will be the ones who will be giving you constructive criticisms or people around you. So you really don't need people who you don't know, strangers, to affect you. Maybe you can take that in a good way, but if they're just out there to just get you or affect you, just ignore it, and that is bliss. Sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. So
Quote of the day.
I think that kind of applies. That's my advice to you. I just want to say good luck with Miss England 2019. It's happening on the end of this month. And
1st of August.
1st of August now. And your voting is going on. So do you want to take this opportunity and speak to the public and ask for your vote appeal?
Yes. So the voting line has already opened. It's been open for some time now. But it closes on 1st of August at 12 lunchtime. And to vote me, you'll have to text Miss England, with a space in the middle, Miss England, and my number is 42, so that's Miss England 42 to 63333. Is that 3 3s I said, or 4 3s?
I don't know.
I always get confused with that.
But we'll put the picture up on the video. I think that might help.
It's 4 3s.
4 3s.
Yeah.
We'll put it down in the...
Yeah, so it's Miss England 42 63333.
Yeah, like I said, good luck for it. And recently, semi-finalist Mate, you were also Miss Public Choice.
Yeah.
So congratulations for that. And I hope you achieve so much more with Miss England, and so much more opportunities will come your way. Especially HAB CH T, we want to wish you that. Going forward with obviously Miss England journey, and you've got your career as an architect, what are you looking forward to?
Having my own firm, not going to lie. But my dream has always... this is very touchy subject to me, but my mum's mum, my Arjunwa, Nepalma, she's always how do you say it in Nepali? She's been a widow.
Okay.
Pretty much all her life, and she's the strongest person I know. And I would really like to make a building in Nepal, because there is still Nepalma still any widow boy when they don't get accepted in the family and so on, and it's not nice. So I'd like to build a building, dedicated to my nan. Hopefully, it's a long-term thought, but I do want a space for those people to go there, be able to live there.
And that is such a lovely thought, and I hope you're able to do that, and I wish to see that, and if I'm ever a widow, I might come.
You're more than welcome. No, it's not just for widow, but it's that in mind. It's just any type of female that's struggling. They can come and stay. So I know there's that Mighty Nepal.
Yes,
that's very, very
helps
nice.
with women in trafficking or women who've been abused.
Yeah.
But there's
so I feel like us women, especially in Nepal and stuff, we need that extra security, that extra safe place. So the more the merrier.
True.
So.
And like I said, we wish you all the best for everything that you're doing with Miss England 2019, and we're hoping for all the positive news and long-term plan पनि तपाईको success होस् भन्दै कामना गर्न चाहन्छु. And thank you so much for being on HAB and opening up to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this was my conversation with Pratishtha Raut. Please follow her journey through Miss England 2019. तपाईहरुले देख्न सक्नुहुने नै छ, and we will be sharing all her updates from our channel as well. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode. Thank you.